Hong Kong, home to this guy, this dancer, this runner, this enormous woman will devour us all, and AI drivers with almost as much driving skill as I have. And also many, many miles of winding concrete roads. But is it possible to get from one side of Hong Kong Island to the other without using a single road? Well, if you've seen this series before, you know I'm about to try and find out. Let's go over the rules for Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown. I'm not allowed to drive on any road, highway, or bridge where civilian traffic spawns. I've also made the decision to ban any dirt road that appears on the map as a sort of a orangey browny line, as using these felt like way too much of a cheat code. I am however allowed to use the trails and footpaths that appear as dotted lines on the map. Other places I'm allowed to drive include, obviously just raw dogging it through the undergrowth, parks and gardens, promenades, malls and pedestrian pathways, docks, warehouses and other industrial areas, construction yards and building sites, alleyways, markets and utility areas, parking lots, both above ground and below ground. Annoyingly, to make my life a little bit more tricky, the map contains areas like this, with invisible walls I can't drive through. Bloody annoying. The starting point is on a wharf in the northwestern corner of the map, with the finishing line and a very unassuming shrine down on the end of a peninsula in the southeastern corner. First of all, I'm going to need to find my way out of the largest and most northerly part of the city that sits on this island. Directly south of the city sits many tall steep mountains. There is no way I'm able to climb up those, so heading straight south and out of the city isn't going to work. But it looks like there's a way out of the city here, on these trails, just southeast of the Solar Crown Hotel. It also looks like this trail heads to a more manageable part of the mountains. But we still need to get there. This is still quite far from my starting location. The best thing to do will be to hug the coastline, as this part of the map contains many industrial areas, parks, and promenades, so heading east shouldn't be too much of a problem. But eventually I'm going to have to leave the coastline and head south. This central part of the city contains many construction sites, alleyways, and markets, so hopefully finding a way through this maze shouldn't be too much of a problem. Right, we have the beginnings of a plan, but I'm going to need a vehicle. Right, here we are in my garage, but what to choose? Ooh, Lambo. Maybe? Chiron, very fast, very powerful. Classic Ferrari, maybe? Ooh, Alpine, strong rally heritage, good for off-roading. Or maybe a Caterham. Nah, none of these are doing it for me. Ah yes, speed of a Beetle, perfect, that's just what I need. Its compact size will make negotiating the narrow streets of Hong Kong a piece of cake, and a small engine will mean it's not overpowered, so I can easily maneuver around tight corners. As for off-roading, well, we'll worry about that later. Still, I wanted to cruise the streets in style, so I headed down to the nearest garage to create my very own custom paint job. But I needed some inspiration. Very classic. Orange and black, very fast. This is what I describe as gaudy. These custom jobs weren't doing it for me, but then a moment of inspiration hit as I was cruising around the streets. Perfect, now my bug looks right at home. I showed off my new paint job to some of the players enjoying the open world. I can tell they're obviously all very jealous. One of them even challenged me to a race. I didn't win. Right, that's enough of that. Let's get the challenge started. Here we are at the starting line at the end of the wharf. It's a beautiful, clear night. Normally, I like to start these challenges at sunrise, but Hong Kong looks absolutely gorgeous with its neon glow, so it would have been rude not to see it. And we're off. It's an easy start making my way down the docks. I just need to avoid the shipping containers and the dock lights. This place has the catchy name of the Western District Public Cargo Working Area. Seeing as this map is an exact 1-to-1 scale of the real Hong Kong, I can go on Google Maps and look up the exact name for things. Pronouncing though is going to be another problem. Just look at the name of the warehouse I've just entered. How am I supposed to pronounce that? I make my way through the warehouse and some barrels, but then catch a little bit of air as I ramp out the loading bay and then land threading the eye of the needle. It's then a couple of quick tight turns around some big rigs before heading back into another warehouse. Ramping up the loading bay was so fun the first time, let's do it again. Nice. I smash through a security barrier and make my way out. You're gonna have to do better than that to contain me, bitch. I now head into the Sun Yat-sen Memorial Park. This really is a lovely park. Looks like a nice place for a stroll, even in the early hours of the morning. It's time to test out this V-Dub's off-road credentials. Okay, that's quite a bit of a slide right there. Oops, sorry about that. Okay, this is a bit slippery and slidey. And this is like easy mode grass, it's perfectly flat. And I've got bloomin' mountains to do later on. This doesn't bode well. My bug is easily able to fit through these tight gaps. I'm not too sure if you call this a proper compact car, but it's certainly skinnier than a lot of the modern day hefty boys you get driving around. I head back onto the promenade on the shorefront, unable to put my foot down. Hear that Beetle's engine roar, or gently purr I suppose. Directly ahead of me sits the ferry terminal building, so we're going to have to pass through there, quite literally. I enter the building, driving through the parking lot. I then do a couple of tight turns. I head through a utility area, before making my way back out to the fresh air of the night. I briefly need to head inland, avoiding a main road that comes right up against the seawall. I head under the highway, sticking to the median and grass verges, destroying plenty of vegetation as I go. It's not long before I'm back crossing roads and heading back towards the coast, and sticking to the shoreline once again. I put my foot down, passing the beautiful glow of multicoloured neon lights, as I carry on my journey east, passing multiple piers and ferry terminals. I'm impressed with the Beetle's top speed. Maybe it has a little bit of caution side of it. I slam on the brakes and turn right, heading towards Hong Kong's iconic observation wheel. I pass through a small cafe and knock down some bollards, and decide now would be a great time to take a photo. Nice! Oh, I got an achievement! Oh, double achievement! Didn't know about those. When it comes to achievements, I'm not really 100% completionist. I prefer to make my own challenges, as you can see watching this video. Speaking of which, let's carry on. I'm currently heading along the Central and Western District Promenade. Just so this whole video isn't me driving on promenades, I decided to head inland for a little bit, and take in the lovely green space of Tamar Park. There are lots of lovely little footpaths for me to weave my way across, but there's also time for a bit of destructive gardening as well. I see a ramp ahead, but I can't drive down. I'm stopped by one of those invisible walls I mentioned before. Well, it's not really invisible. It has like a big red hand on it, but you can't drive through it, you just crash into it. But I can drive down the ramp on the other side though, for some reason. I drive along the sidewalk for a bit, and then cross a traffic circle. And then back onto more sidewalks. These lead me to yet more green spaces. My V-Dub really doesn't like the off-road. I struggle for grip, but manage to keep control, somehow managing to avoid all the trees in this little urban woodland. Well, almost. I see a gap in the trees ahead, but it turns out to be a crossroads. I quickly make my way across while there's a gap in the traffic. I find myself back on the waterfront once again, heading towards the convention and exhibition centre. I speed along some very wibbly-wobbly footpaths, where the bug's manoeuvrability comes in very useful. A large awning sits just ahead of me, which I make my way through. You know, I do find the destruction in this game pretty satisfying. I mean, sure, it's very unrealistic. I'm pretty sure a real VW Beetle would implode on impact when faced with such a solid obstacle. This ain't no Panzer. I make my way through the exhibition centre. Unfortunately, I can't ram raid my way through these glass doors and drive through the hall itself. Believe me, I've tried. So I'll just have to stick to the walkways instead. My time hugging the coast has now come to an end. I really need to head inland now, towards the Solar Crown Hotel. I start heading south, where I see a small industrial area with various cranes and loading equipment. Turns out the ground here is also muddy, so yet again I'm fighting the bug for grip, trying not to crash into any of the shipping crates or machinery around here. I don't mean to brag, but I think that was rather skillfully done. I head across the parking lot. Then there's a sharp left over a pedestrian crossing. I always find driving across these very cheeky. I now enter a shopping plaza as I'm making my way downtown. Well, if you've got that music reference and remember it coming out, you're probably as old as me. Enjoy that lower back pain and discovering your first few grey hairs. I navigate my way through the shops and around planters. I need to cross this road up ahead. Excuse me, coming through. That's it. I cause chaos, putting my foot down and picking up speed, smashing through this construction yard, ramping out the other side, and flying over a busy road. I follow this dirt track for a bit, but it spills out onto a road, so I have to go completely off-road again, ploughing my way through the undergrowth. Ah, I see. It appears I'm underneath some sort of interchange. Well, just need to mind my head as I drive through here. It's just occurred to me, even though I'm heading towards the Solar Crown Hotel, I've not actually seen it yet, which is kind of ridiculous considering how tall the thing is. It's the tallest building on the map. The existence of this hotel kind of bothers me. The whole story is they built it just for this racing competition. Who builds a multi-million-dollar, possibly billion-dollar hotel just for a street racing competition? Who's funding this? Seriously, why does it exist? Well, for a cool game hub I guess, but the concept of it is absolutely ridiculous. I wreck a whole bunch of street signs. I then cross the road and absolutely destroy a bunch of market stalls. Well, whatever they're selling now is absolutely ruined. I'm now properly in Hong Kong's downtown, the Wan Chen region to be specific. I'm going to need to stick to the sidewalk just for a little bit. This part of the map is an absolute maze, so it won't be long before I find an alleyway or something. See, look, just as I said, a nice pedestrianised shopping street, and directly across from that is a construction site. Lucky for me, it's one of those video game construction sites, with convenient wooden ramps to drive over, rather than a giant hole. When I exit the construction site, I can see the highway ahead, and luckily for me, there is a market underneath it I can drive through. I take out a couple of fruit stalls. This is the second video in a row where I've destroyed a bunch of fruit stands. They're always great to smash through. Bring them back. Bring more fruit stands into our video games and movies, please. I'm sure at one point in time it was an obligation for every movie car chase to have a fruit stand get absolutely destroyed with a car driving through it. Bring that back, it's epic and funny at the same time. The Beatles' inanimate object kill count continues to rise, as I smash through many obstacles, heading along plazas and sidewalks. This is the only kill count I'm going to get in this game, as you may have noticed, there are no pedestrians. They're all heading away safely behind all the invisible walls and red barriers. Well, I guess that means this episode of the No Road Challenge is going to be very PG. I better not swear, although I almost certainly have already. Oh look, more shit to smash through. I'll never get bored of this. What can I say? I'm a simple man. I like cars, I like destruction. I don't know about you, but I'm having a great time. We're getting closer and closer to the Solar Crown Hotel. It's not too far from here. I leave the narrow alleyways behind and enter yet another construction site. With quite a big open space. It's time for more Tokyo drifting across this mud. Make that Hong Kong drifting. Let's just not try and wreck this thing. You know, looking at Google Maps, it looks like there is actually a big construction site here, but not this ornate park I'm about to enter. That's odd, you thought it'd be the other way round. Oh well. Oh, tight gap. Breathe in, everyone. You can just about see Hong Kong Stadium ahead of me, but we're not heading there. I turn back at myself. And there she is, the Solar Crown Hotel. It's that really spindly tall thing off in the distance. I just need to keep heading towards that, so I can reach those trails and finally get out of the city. This park's huge. There's got to be a way out somewhere. Ah, there it is, the way out. I need to keep heading east. I know there's more green spaces just on the other side of these buildings. After a tight turn, I'm almost there. You know I aim for those bicycles. Look at them go. I stick to the sidewalk once again. I'm almost afraid to turn right and head off into the jungle there. I seriously doubt if I'll even be able to climb up that steep embankment. I mean, seriously, look, it's sliding all over the place. Right, there's the hotel. Just across these roads and that green space. Then I can find the trail and get the hell out of here. Okay, this is some seriously rough terrain right here. Ah, bollocks. As my poor beetle sat there, absolutely helpless, I came to a sudden realization. There's no way this bug is going to get me the rest of the way across the map as it is. I'll still head towards the Solar Crown Hotel, but I'm going to need to go inside and perform a few modifications if my buggy is going to complete this challenge. Eventually I free myself from this rather embarrassing situation. I very cautiously drive around the rest of the rocks. I then head across the road and enter the plaza surrounding the Crown Hotel. Right, let's go inside and see what we can do to this thing. Beetle looking more off-road capable, we can carry on with our journey. Unfortunately, the easy bit is now over. All that lies south of here now is jungle and mountain. Because I hate myself, and apparently have way too much time on my hands, all these orange dirt roads are the ones I can't drive on. And the paths I've highlighted in green are the trails I am allowed to drive on, with a small bit of off-roading in between each one. Looks like the area to the west contains more of these trails, so I'll stick to there. I'll keep heading down towards the south coast. Once I've reached there, I can re-evaluate the plan, and think about how to get to the finish line. Yeah, that looks much better. This bugger's hot to go. The engine has also been boosted a bit, so we should have a little bit more power. We head out the Solar Crown Plaza the way we came in, where a black SUV decides to stop right in my way. Cheers for that, thanks. I drive round the inconsiderate bastard, and into a bunch of sports fields. I then decide to drive onto a football pitch, where there's a conveniently large football just sat in the middle of the field. You know it had to be done. I start making my way south, and finally I've left the city behind. I pass over a beautiful pond, driving over the wooden bridges, across a small island. What a lovely, peaceful area. Hopefully driving through there won't give me bad karma for the rest of the journey. Oh, shadow. It's now time to start my plan of following the footpaths. The first one is only short. Bends around the corner, then I'm met by a road. I'll just simply drive across this road as it meanders around the corner and onto the next trail. This is pretty much how the plan is going to work, just hopping from trail to trail. It should be fairly straightforward. The trail ahead sits at the bottom of a valley. As you can see by the steep gradients either side, sticking to the trails is going to be the best idea when travelling through the mountainous areas. Trying to just drive across country as the crow flies just wouldn't work. The slopes are just way too steep. But so far so good. The simple straight trail gets me away from the city. The trail becomes steeper, but it's no problem for the upgraded V-dub. Up I go. At the end of the trail, I'm met with a tarmac road straight ahead of me, and one of the dirt roads I can't use to the left. So it's through the undergrowth we go. It's nice to finally have a bit of grip as I make my way through the vegetation. The hills start off relatively gentle, but soon I'm met by a cliff. I'm not getting up there, so I'm going to turn back on myself and hug the bottom of the cliff, avoiding the dirt road to the left of me. I know there's another trail ahead of me, so I just need to keep heading in this direction. I stick to the floor of a valley. So far, raw dogging it through the undergrowth isn't proving too much of a challenge. I finally come across a clearing, and what looks like a small path ahead, but it turns out to be nothing. Come on, where is that trail? Ah, here it is, down there, with that little canopy and seating area. Just past the trees and up that hill sits another trail, a much longer one that will get me a lot farther south. I just need to get up there. Shouldn't be too much of a problem. Okay, this is proving to be a problem. No worries, let's just try again. Come on, you can do it. Oh, come on, just bloomin' climb. What's wrong with you? Maybe my modifications haven't gone far enough. The Beetle is still really struggling to get up those hills. Although this game isn't an off-roading sim, I guess it kind of has off-road races. The developers thought to give different surface areas different amount of grip. So if I try hugging the rock rather than the mud and the grass, the Beetle might be able to pull itself further uphill. Yes, that's it, come on, it seems to be working. No, come on, I almost had it! Oh, damn it! Well, it appears rock climbing also comes with a fair amount of risk. Right, if I can just do that again and not get stuck, it should be all good. Okay, here we go. Up and around the corner. That's it. use the cliff edge, use the rock, get around there. Come on, that's it. Keep up your speed. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Oh yes, she's doing it, she's doing it. Come on, girl. And yes, I'm over. Right, where's that trail? There it is down there. Well, that was an ordeal. I can now just follow the trail up and along the ridge, without the fear of struggling to drive uphill. My inner rally driver comes out as I fly along the trails. I'm finally making good progress after that rather embarrassing hiccup. I pass various vistas and viewpoints as I make my way through the Titan region. Hey look, an observatory! There's no time to stop for sightseeing. The trail begins to head back downhill again, and the path gets a little bit bendy. I just need to use my brakes and be sensible, and keep my crazy taxi under control. This picnic area marks the end of that nice long section of trail. The next one we need to get to is a short drive south of here. First I just need to cross a road. Ah, whoops! That was a close one. Almost rolled the damn thing. Luckily for me, it's all downhill to the next trail. I pick up a lot of speed, almost losing control, causing minor deforestation as I go. I'd hate to think what this is doing to my carbon footprint right now. Ah, there it is, the next trail. This particular trail snakes its way down to the Titan Reservoir. Whoa, turns out this is one steep trail. I start barreling downhill at a rather alarmingly high speed, barely keeping control of the car on the way down. Right, where's the reservoir? It's around here somewhere. Ah, there it is. Phew, that was a close one. Just jumped the whole damn reservoir. Well, after that rather spectacular stunt, I need to get back up the trail again. Oh great, not more wheel spin. Fortunately for me, the slope here isn't that steep, so I'm able to climb up. Right, that's one of the roads I'm not allowed to drive on. I'll just head back and around this water tower. Okay, or clumsily crash into the water tower, whatever works. I know there's another trail around here somewhere, on the other side of the road. Oh damn it, not again. It's the second time I've always rolled this thing. Maybe its round shape is helping, I don't know. Well, just as long as it stays on its wheels, I should be okay. I head up into a picnic area and can't see the trail, so I head back on myself and drive alongside the road for a little bit. Ah, there it is, that's what I'm looking for. This trail will take me up over another ridge. The path takes me through a lovely scenic valley, with a small stream flowing through it. There's even some rather nice footbridges to drive over. The cramped urban alleyways, bright neon, and destroyed market stalls are all a distant memory at this point. From now on it's all fresh air, nature, and scenic vistas. Well, that was a lovely trail. I stick to the side of this dirt road just for a short bit, as the next path is up ahead. I follow it as it meanders up to the top of this hill. Which way now? Which way now? Let me just consult my map. Ah! This way. Let's just gently jump down and... Ow! Okay, that was very undignified with the beetle. Let me just get myself off this rock and... yeah, we can carry on then. Unfortunately for me, the next trail is up yet another hill. So let's give this our best shot, shall we? Oh no, here we go again. She's struggling, bless her. If I can just lie my ass across to the rocks there, hopefully I'll find some kind of grip and pull myself up the rest of the way. Clearly my off-road modifications haven't been extreme enough. I don't have to go back to the city to find a garage to upgrade the Beetle further, but I know there's a garage in Repulse Bay, so if I just stick to the plan, keep hopping from trail to trail, fingers crossed I can make it there, will definitely be needed, as the terrain only gets worse from there on, and I just can't see this Beetle even though it's modified, making it. Let's just push on forward for now. Right, finally I'm at the top. Let's carry on. Where is that trail? Nope, that ain't it. That's one of those illegal dirt roads. Ah, there it is. This one is a little bit more precarious, as it runs next to a very steep drop. There is a guardrail, but I'll just smash straight through that if I touch it, so let's just be careful, shall we? Well, I passed the scary bit. Let's keep on going up. Here we are, another mountain conquered. Damn, look over there, that's some view. Time for another photo opportunity, I think. Gorgeous. With my job as a virtual tourist complete, it was time to head back down again. I almost make a complete tit of myself turning around. Damn, that was a close one. I almost went flying back down the mountain again. I would have been so pissed. The trail here is nice and long and heads directly south, so I'm able to cover some distance, barreling downhill. I'm surprised at the amount of detail the developers have put into these trails, considering none of the in-game racers take part on any of them. I doubt many players make their way up here. I certainly haven't seen any, but as a bold video game explorer, I really do appreciate this detail. I know this game has its flaws, but overall I really like this map. It's just nice to explore somewhere that's not America for once, to be honest. Don't get me wrong, I love America. I was there on my honeymoon for the first time last month, and it was amazing. So much jaw-dropping, amazing, beautiful terrain, but it always just feels like open world driving games just go straight there. Come on, there's so much more world to go out there and see. Anyway, I'm rambling. Oh, look, a tunnel. Okay, yeah, left here. Damn, this trail just keeps on going, doesn't it? Even when it meets a dirt road, the trail just keeps on running alongside of it. So, yeah, let's keep going. Remember how I just said I don't see any other players exploring up here? Well, hand me a plate, knife and fork, and some light seasoning, because I'm about to eat my words. As I spot a player in a lime green Lamborghini just driving below me. I turn around in excitement, and destroy a bunch of the handrail in the process. I think he's coming up to say hello. But then he just drives on by. He really doesn't give a flying fuck. I turn around to chase after them to see if they notice me. But no, they're just doing their own thing. Fair enough, you do you, Green Lambo guy, you do you. Let's just jump down and, oh dear. Stuck on my back with my legs flaying in there, just like a real beetle. Actually, wait, that's not right. That's a tortoise. Anyway, reset. Okay, let's just pretend that didn't happen. What the hell was that? Why did I do a barrel roll? Okay, let's pretend that didn't happen again. Okay, let's try a different approach. Let's spin around and go this way. Right, that's better. I actually landed on all fours this time. Right, downhill we go. Through the undergrowth, this way. Hopefully my luck of bad run is over. The following section, careening down a hill, is 80% pure luck and about 20% skill, I'd say. I somehow managed to avoid most of the trees on the way down. Hopefully it's all downhill from now on. I can feel that coastline getting closer. The forest eventually spits me back out, behind the back of some buildings and next to a busy road. I cross it onto the median and spot a gas station up ahead. Gas stations are on the list of things I'm allowed to drive through, right? Yeah, sure they are. Wait, what's that? Clean car? Well, be rude not to while I'm here. Well, that was disappointing. That's definitely a massive step down from the car cleaning animations in Test Drive Unlimited 2. You know what I mean if you've played it. Yeah, you do. Anyway, enough reminiscing of the golden age of racing games. Let's throw ourselves down this steep hill. This really isn't very graceful at all. Ouch, damn it!
You must have seen that there are some high-stakes races.
Shut the fuck up, Siri or Katana or whatever your name is. No one likes you. I find myself on the shore of the Wong Chung Reservoir, so I gently start to drive my way around the edge, trying to avoid driving onto the road that's directly to the right of me. But then also, going left into the water would also be a pretty bad idea. First I plough through yet more trees and undergrowth, but these give way to a nice little picnic area, with the trail leading right down to the shores of the lake itself. I head on down and drive right alongside the lake, gently dipping my toes, well, tyres into the water. Refreshing. It's then a little scramble up some rocks to get away from the lake and start heading back downhill again. Oh look, more trails. I'm spoiled for choice here. Let's go for this one. Yeah, this is all I need. If If I remember correctly, this trail should lead to the outskirts of Repulse Bay. There I can find a garage and perform all the final modifications I need to make it to the finish line. This nice straight trail sure does beat off-roading. It almost looks like I know what I'm doing, and not just completely winging these things. Nah, I'm joking, I do put a lot of planning into these videos. At the bottom of the trail, I'm greeted by an absolutely wonderful sight. A golf course. I can honestly say this is the happiest I've ever been to see a golf course. No offense to those of you who enjoyed the game, it just looks so dull to me. I've no desire to watch it or play it. It just doesn't do anything for me. But this nice, wide, flat open space sure is a nice change from all the narrow trail and dense undergrowth. I exit the golf course, crossing the parking lot on a road and heading straight onto the beach. This is Deepwater Bay Beach. Repulse Bay, where I'll find the garage I'm heading to, is just a little bit further east down the coast. So let's stick to the beach for now and make our way there. Driving across the golden sand doesn't last very long as I head up a promenade. At the top I reach a very busy main road that hugs the coastline. There are steep cliffs directly above it and below it. Obviously driving straight up these isn't an option, but it looks like there's some sort of stairs over there. I've got a feeling this is going to be very painful, but it really looks like it's my only option for now, so let's just try this, I suppose. Hey, actually this isn't as bad as I thought it was. Maybe I still have PTSD from the last staircase I tried to drive up in my Driver 3 video. Just as I thought all was going to plan, there was a slight issue. Turns out my bug is a bit too fat to get through this tiny gap at the top. Nope, she ain't getting through there. Oh bollocks, now I'm sliding back down again. Come on, find your grip, find your grip. That's it, back up we go. No, 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 come on, we're so close. Don't do this to me. Oh, for fuck's sake. I'm going to do those SpongeBob time cards again, aren't I?
20 minutes later. 2 hours later. Many months later.
For whatever reason, even though I did it so easily the first time, I really struggled to get back up to where I was before. Obviously that tiny gap is a no-go, so let's just go left and hug the wall and hopefully not slide back down the embankment again. Well, it worked. I'm up. Let's go find that garage and hopefully we can put all this embarrassing off-road failure behind us, once and for all. I find a driveway, then cross that busy road again, where I'm greeted by a promenade. Ah yes. Hello promenade, my old friend. It's fun to drive on you again. I pull around the coast for a little bit, but it doesn't last very long, and I have to do a quick handbrake turn to avoid the busy road once again. The sea terrain here leaves me very little choice. I'm going to have to hug this tiny gap here, driving alongside the crash bar of the busy road, and avoiding the steep plummet into the ocean below. I just have to take it slowly and drive very cautiously. We're so close to Repulse Bay, it's just around this corner. Finally, I start to see tall buildings in the afternoon fog. Yes, we've made it, Repulse Bay. Right, this bit of the cliff doesn't look too steep. I'll just head down here and make my way towards the beach. After a little roly-poly, whee! Nailed it. Then a bit of an awkward drive onto the promenade. I'd safely made it down to Repulse Bay Beach. As is tradition in this game, there are no civilians. Just weird, glitchy blooms for some reason. I don't know what that's about. Just ignore them. I dash across the sand, taking out a few parasols on the way, and then get rather intimate with the sculpture. It's an up the stairs, along a promenade past some pagodas, then a sharp left turn. The garage is just up there. I just need to stick to the sidewalk, go up this hill, across this verge, and here I am. The modifications needed would be substantial, so I worked tirelessly through the night, tweaking and upgrading this car. And by morning, she was ready to go again. Here she is! She looks like a whole new car. Right, let's do this. Let's go with the plan. How are we going to reach the finish line? All those trails and footpaths I relied on are pretty much non-existent in this area, apart from over here. I think it's some kind of national park or something, but I couldn't find much information about it. But with the new modifications, I shouldn't need to rely on these too much. Unless it's a sheer cliff face, off-roading shouldn't be a problem. My plan is just to head straight up and over Nsane Mountain. But then there's a small obstacle when I reach the other side, in the form of the Taitam Tuk Reservoir and Taitam Harbour. There is a dam here, but I can't drive across the top, as it's a main road. So I'll head down to the dam base to see if I can find a way across down there. That should be easier than driving around the reservoir. I'll then do a bit of coast steering. Hopefully there'll be some beaches or flat ground I can use to travel along the shoreline. With all the trails and footpaths, driving through this part here should be a piece of cake. I'll then use all the skills I've learned to cross the tip of this peninsula and finally reach the shrine at the finish line. I jam down the accelerator and tear across the beach at full speed. Damn, she's a quick one now, look at her go. I leave the beach, head up a path and cross the road. Right, let's see if this thing can finally climb hills. Yes! Damn, look at that, straight up, no problem. She's now climbing with all the grace of a mountain goat. I meet her to the road, and then an Audi decides to get in my way. Typical Audis, always causing trouble. There's a little bit of two-wheel action as I drive along the embankment. The new off-road tyres doing a great job at keeping grip. Right, time for a proper off-road test. Let's climb Nsane Mountain. Well, it's probably not tall enough to be a mountain, it's probably more of a hill, but mountain sounds more impressive. We are once again cutting our way through the forest, but this time with way more ease than before. This buggy is really killing it. I mean, VW bug, beetle. Yes, I haven't just completely swapped the car completely. That would be stupid and dishonest. And yes, buggy, beetle. Yeah, just fast forward this bit. Here we are, the summit. There's a little bit of a clearing, and I get a beautiful view of South Hong Kong Island. But which way do I need to go? The reservoir is in this direction. Right, okay, come on, let's make our way back down again. Although, judging by the terrain ahead, it's probably going to be more up and down, rather than just down and down and down. The terrain here is by far the roughest I've seen on my journey so far. It's a constant mix of ridge and valley, up and down, with no signs of civilization or trails anywhere. I just keep on pushing through and hope I don't get too lost. It's very disorientating, I can't really see where I'm going. I find an unmarked trail, so follow it for a bit. I must admit, I am completely lost at this point. I have no idea which direction I'm heading in. I need to find a clearing with some kind of view just to see the reservoir. A very steep slope ahead of me, but yet again I'm able to climb it with ease. When I reach the top there is a very narrow ridge, which I straddle for a little bit. There are steep cliff faces either side of me. One wrong move and I'm sliding back down. I can see the reservoir once again. Looks like I'm heading in the right direction after all. I fly down the hillside. It looks very chaotic, but I have a lot more control than I did before. I can actually steer to avoid objects. Well, most of them. After crossing a road and scrambling down some rocks, I reach the reservoir. I drive along its banks for a little bit. Finally some smooth terrain, but I now need to get myself to the base of the dam, which means heading up here and crossing a busy road. The traffic politely waits for me to cross. I make my way onto a small access road. No traffic spawns on this, so I'm allowed to use it. It'll give my VW Beach Bug a much needed rest after all that crazy off-roading. This road takes us to one of my favourite places on the map, a quiet little fishing village. I couldn't find a name for this place on Google Maps, but it does exist in real life. But hey, it just looks like a cool little village, a nice place to come and chill out, and enjoy the views overlooking the ocean. I enter the village's narrow streets, turning around back on myself and heading down an alleyway. And then turn left, making my way towards the beach. See what I mean? Look at this place, gorgeous. And I'm here to ruin the peace and quiet with my engine revving away, and my big chunky wheels tearing up the sand. The beach bug has come to its natural habitat. I speed across the sands, dodging past boats, and occasionally dipping my tyres in the turquoise sea. The bay here is very narrow, but quite deep. I can't just simply wade across. Unfortunately, I can't see any obvious way to cross. No narrow sandbanks, no footbridges, just the dam. But I have a crazy idea. I hope this car has to talk to pull it off. Okay, that wasn't the idea. Let's try that again. Right, here goes nothing. Yeah, go on, that's it, that's it, that's it. Nailed it! That was awesome. I knew she had the power, wouldn't let me down. Right, now we need to make our way towards the national park. We're going to stick to the coastline for this one. So far it looks like beautiful sandy beaches. This shouldn't be a problem. Let's put our foot down and enjoy some more gorgeous tropical scenery. I find another picturesque beach, with many colourful boats moored upon it. And oh look, a ramp! Whee! Well, that was fun. To avoid all the boats, I head out onto a sandbank. The sea here is nice and shallow, so I can simply just drive out to it. Look at all those pretty boats, what a nice spot. I cross the water once again and head back into the beach, but the chilled out, relaxed vibes are about to end, as the sand gives way to rocks. Looks like it's time to do some scrambling, but with these hefty tyres, ample ground clearance, and super bouncy suspension, yes, that's a technical term, this thing was made for this. I just need to keep up the revs, and avoid any giant rocks, and I should be okay. I come across a large smooth rock, which I'm able to climb over with ease. So far things are going to plan. I just need to navigate my way in between these rocks, finding the smoothest possible path. And I should be alright, just as long as the terrain doesn't get too crazy. I wonder if any other players out there have been mad enough to do this. It feels like I'm playing a completely different game down here. Okay, things are getting very rough up ahead. Let's give this a try, but I'm not feeling too confident about this one. Come on, that's it, get over. I don't know about this. It might even be too much for my awesome buggy. Okay, let's try a different route. Maybe straight up. Yeah, that looks quite smooth. I mean, sure it's steep, but it's worth a shot. Right, come on, that's it. Just need to find my footing. I know you can do it. That's it, come on, come on. Haha, yeah, look at that, straight up. I think it's time to remind you that this is what Test Drive's Unlimited Solar Crown gameplay is supposed to look like. Not this. We've definitely entered some sort of weird off-roading minigame. I don't know if the development team ever planned for the game to be played like this, but here we are. Off-Road Unlimited. Solar cliffs or rocks. As I clear the top of the ridge, it looks like my life isn't going to get any easier. It's more rocks and cliffs. No chilled out beaches to be seen. I can't just simply travel along the top of the cliffs. I'm going to have to find a way back down again. Perhaps down here. If I just take it very carefully and slow. Oh no. No. Okay, clearly just driving up a cliff. Yeah, that's the bad idea. Let's just go back and see there's a better way down. Maybe I missed something. Okay, the gradient here isn't quite as crazy. Yes, that's it, I'm down. There may not be a proper beach down here. It looks like the water might be shallow enough to wade through. I just need to hug the base of the cliffs, scrambling over the small rocks here, and pray that the water doesn't get too deep. Things start off well. Maybe luck is on my side once again. I just need to be very careful. And try not to gamble too much, heading to the right into the ocean. If I misjudge the depth of the water, I'll be fish food. And who knows where my buggy will be reset. Things are once again getting very bumpy. The water here also looks a lot deeper. I can't just wade around these rocks. It's time to start climbing again. The rocks here aren't steep, but they're very bumpy. It's going to take a lot of revving and wheel spinning to get up here. Go on, I believe in you. You can do it. That's it. Okay, that's it. We're clear of the rocks. I just need to weave my way through these trees. The gradient is getting very steep once again. I'm going to have to use a similar technique to the one I used on the dam. Driving diagonally. Unfortunately, I don't drive diagonally enough, and disaster. I tumble down, but the rocks break my fall. Well, guess I'll just keep going down. Maybe things have got a bit shallower below again. Well, I guess not. This was a mistake, but thankfully, somehow, the respawn gods were smiling down upon me. Normally the game just chucks you back onto whatever road you were driving on last. Who knows where that would be for me, but they decided to plant me just a few meters away from where I'd landed in the water, and I was able to carry on with my journey, scrambling awkwardly back up the cliffs. Yeah, the next few moments of climbing doesn't exactly include my most skillful driving, but I get up there eventually. I spot a crash barrier just above me, which means a road I won't be allowed to drive on, so I have no choice but to head back down the cliffs towards the water's edge. There isn't a lot of margin for error down here. There is only a very narrow strip of shallow water I could drive in. It's always very nerve-wracking. when I drive around these rocks which are sticking into the ocean. Sometimes it's just better to drive straight over them. But sometimes this doesn't always work, and you get a little stuck and make a complete fool of yourself. Well, that was a lot more difficult than it needed to be. Let's just keep on pressing forward. We're almost there. I hope we get there quickly for my own sanity's sake. With the rocks looking rough and the water looking deep, I decided to go straight up and over the peninsula for the last bit. When I crash down on the other side, I'm greeted by a beautiful sight. A sandy beach, and also this suspension bridge. I have some absolutely devastating news for you, so please sit down for this one. This suspension bridge doesn't actually exist in real life. I know, crazy, right? There was me thinking this is some sort of famous Hong Kong viewpoint, but nope, it's just completely made up. Right, let's press on. I made my way through a farm and over a small bridge. Yes, finally a path! I put my foot down. It's time to make good use of this engine once again. This feels like heaven after all that rock climbing hell. I once again pass under Imagination Bridge, following the coastal path and heading into the national park. I'll finally be able to make good progress again, sticking to the footpaths and trails. Let's absolutely blitz this section. You probably should ignore that bit. As you can see, following those trails really didn't cause any sort of stress. That was lovely. Scenic beaches, little footbridges, palm trees, gorgeous. But it's time to leave that life of luxury behind us, as we are once again about to leave the trails behind us. We're on the same peninsula as the finish line now, we're so close. I'll grab some clan points for some good luck. Oh look, some money too, nice. Right, I've had enough of coast steering for now. Let's just go straight up and over the peninsula and come down the other side. Put your hiking shoes back on, we're heading uphill. I start climbing once again, heading straight through the trees. The slope is very steep, but so far isn't too much of a challenge. I start to see some large rocks and cliff faces ahead of me, but I'm able to find a way through them as I continue to ascend up the hill. I get some air, ramping over a civilian car and smashing straight into another one. Sorry about that, but they look fine, they're carrying on. Same as me. On with the climb, let's keep going up. Some parts of the climb, the terrain gets very thick, and I can hardly see where I'm going. I just need to keep on pushing through. Ahead of me, I see a satellite dish. This is the Cape d'Aguila Satellite Earth Station. I make my way towards it. It sure does feel strange driving on tarmac again after all this time going along the coast and through the jungle. Road closed? I don't think so, Mr. Sign. You can't stop me. The dirt road doesn't last very long, as it takes me to a clearing and past a radio tower. I race past and start heading downhill again. Nothing's gonna stop me. Okay, except maybe this crash barrier. I didn't even see that. I've got to get my eyes checked. I sheepishly retreat to the side of the road and head alongside it for a little bit, waiting for the crash barrier to end. Right, there's the end of it. Let's cross over and head downhill. That finish line is getting closer and closer by the second. I keep crossing the same road as it meanders down the hill, and my driving gets a little sloppy. Hey, I'm just excited and keen to finish this thing. Find a path that winds its way down towards the ocean. This should make my life easy for a little bit. Shortcut! I keep following the track as it straightens out, driving down the hill at full speed. I plough through an archway. That was fun. But then, I'm quickly disappointed when I find out the path doesn't end at the ocean, and instead goes back onto another road. Well, back to off-roading again. I'm then met with yet more disappointment. No, not the roly-poly, that was fun. The disappointment is this escarpment of rock. It's blocking my way down to the sea. I do some maneuvering to find a way around it, and then for some reason I end up driving on my side. This is nuts, what's going on? I feel the need to get a move on. The sun is setting. I really don't want this challenge to continue on into the night, but I can't see the easy route ahead of me. It's more rocks. The finish line is just on the other side of these. I can see the smallest amount of beach down there, so I head for it. Unfortunately, this last little stretch isn't going to be easy, as the beach quickly disappears. Right, let's chance this water. Hopefully it's not too deep. It's now very hard to tell with the sun so low in the sky. Okay, so far so good. This looks promising. Let's just keep going. There's a large, very flat rock ahead of me. Let's try and go over it. No, the buggy doesn't like that. Perhaps round it. No, too deep. What shall we do? I get angry, I jam the accelerator down hard, and desperately scramble up the side of the mountain. It's chaotic but effective. I do a roll, fortunately landing on my wheels, and then continue on up. I'm getting desperate at this point, I just want to get there. I seem to be past the worst of the rock now. I found myself driving back along through the jungle, at a very steep angle, but the strong grip of my tyres isn't letting me down. I just need to keep following the coast round. I spot another radio tower. I can use that as a landmark. I know roughly where the shrine is from there. Right, here I am on the top. Let's just head downhill. Come on, where is it? You know, in real life in this area, there's actually a massive whale skeleton called the Bones of Miss Willy, but rather disappointingly, it's not in the game. So, the shrine had to do. There's the shrine, but that's not the one I'm after. It's the one right at the tip I want. Come on, just down this path. There it is! Yes, I can see it! Yes, I've made it, at last! Ah, that was a struggle. But it's really tested me, and the game to be fair. I pushed the game physics to the limit, playing the game how it didn't want to be played. But I'd done it, and it was great fun. I took a great sense of pride as I basked in the glow of the lanterns on the shrine. Well, I guess there's only one thing left to do. Take a photograph! Hey look, an Easter egg! With the challenge complete, the buggy had earned itself a water burial. Thanks for watching this one, guys. I had a lot of fun, and I hope you really enjoyed this video, so make sure you like and subscribe and comment and all that good stuff, and I'll see you in the next one. Who knows, maybe I'll try and drive across America. You'll have to wait and see.